So I'm thinking about men and women as I often do, and I'm wondering right now as to why in history the advances in technology and in all aspects of society has been performed by men. Our inventions, our technology, our history, our social contact, our governments and construction of everything, our philosophers and whatever. It seems as if all of our philosophers and scientists and all of the significant figures in history are mainly men. Now, there are a few women, but it seems to me that the only reason we know about these women are because efforts have been made to focus on women, even though they're very few in number compared with men. And so we make the effort to highlight women, but the truth of it is that the number of women who have done very much that's significant in history is actually few, very few. And men are overwhelmingly are the ones who have pushed society forward and been inventors and who have achieved significant things in history. And I'm wondering why this is, and there are so many ways of approaching that question, but I think everything seems to come down to the basic fact that women have children. Because women do that immensely important role, women don't have much impetus to do anything else. If women already do the most important thing in life, what else do they need to do to prove themselves, to focus their energy on? It seems to me that women already, what's the word? They already focus our attention on what's important in the world. And so they don't need to do anything else to be significant. Men, on the other hand, are in a different position in that they have to, or they want to, prove themselves and make themselves significant, make themselves comparable to women in significance. And that's a tremendous task. It takes a great deal of effort to make men equivalent to women in terms of value and importance. And I'm thinking that's why men achieve so much more than women in so many fields of endeavor. It's not a question of men being superior to women intellectually, whatever. I don't think it's as simple as that. I think it's more about drive and a need to prove worth. That's what I think is making the biggest difference between the achievements of men and women. Men achieve so much more on balance, not necessarily because they are intellectually superior to women, although that may be the case, I don't know. I think it's more about drive and a need for purpose and need to prove themselves that makes men more likely to achieve in life. Now, some women have done well in history, but as I say, it's because efforts have been made to seek out these women who have achieved and promote them more. That's the only reason we can name any famous women in history, because the number of women in history who have done things that are significant is very small, and it's only because efforts have been made to emphasize these women that we've heard of them at all. If we look at them and compare the numbers of women who have achieved very much, we see that the numbers are very few, and we only know about them because efforts have been made to emphasize them. And that's why we know about them. If we were to judge importance based on the numbers of men and women who have achieved much, we would see that the number of women who have achieved things is a very, very low number. And as I said, we only know about these women because efforts have been made to emphasize their achievements. But everything around us in the world are the results of men's achievements. All our buildings, our technology, our education system, our science and technology, our infrastructure, everything. The house you live in is because of the efforts of men. The roads, the pavements, the electricity supply, the water supply, the gas supply, all of our buildings, all of our shops, all of our food supplies, our transport system, everything is a result of the efforts of men. And it's just the way it is. Now I'm thinking that this isn't any kind of criticism of women. There's no comparison going on here of worth. It's just reality that men have achieved so much more in the world because, in a sense, men have to achieve so much more because they're trying to compete with women in terms of worth, and women have pretty much ultimate worth because women create life, and it's very hard to compete with that and to become equivalent to that. And so I think men have an innate need to do and perform and create and be useful in order to make themselves equivalent to women in terms of importance and significance in the world. And women can rest easy in a sense because they are naturally significant in the world. They don't have to do anything in order to be important. They just need to be women. Men, on the other hand, need to prove themselves and demonstrate why they are worthy. So I think that explains the difference in men's and women's achievements much more than any other factor, I would say. So I think it's interesting that men achieve because they have to and women don't.